You talking smack with Marty Mac again, eh? Okay. I think the first move you have to make is, and probably has already been made, is to you determine better the direction of your franchise. And one way to do that is to determine whether or not your coach is in place for the future. I think that decision has been made from an organizational standpoint, and I think the decision is that Eric Musselman is not going to be the coach of the future. Once you do that, I think you prepare for the draft. You hope you get lucky in the middle of the May lottery, and most of all, you try to find a coach that you're comfortable with, that everybody's comfortable with, and that in whom you can trust to lead you in the right direction. I think Mike wants to come back. I don't think he'll opt out of his contract. I think the Kings certainly will explore what direction they want to go with Mike because he is marketable, and I think at this point you have to explore every marketable person you have on the roster to see what can come back. Will it bring you back more in value than you believe keeping Mike or anybody else will bring? It's about utilizing all your chips when you're playing poker, and basically that's what these guys, they're playing basketball poker, and they're going to try and see if they can come up with a winning hand and one that has some validity and some reason to believe in the future. I think quite a few of the recent draft picks, Kevin Martin, Francisco Garcia, I see potential in Quincy Doobie. Justin Williams is a guy, he's a classic example of a guy who you don't know where he came from, undrafted, free agent, and has made an impact on the team. You know, there are players out there to be found. You have to, as an organization, be willing to take your shot with them. I don't think the Kings were. I think the Kings got lucky with Justin Williams because they let the guy go when clearly they should have kept him in front of a retread like Mo Taylor. He's a retread who didn't do what they needed him to do, which is defend and rebound. And Justin Williams is a young guy who defends and rebounds. I mean, it was a no-brainer to me, but you have to let people make their own decisions and then, see what they look like. The same thing goes for me talking and saying what these guys should do, It's one thing about tape. You can always bring it back up and you can see how smart or how dumb you were or are. So I think there are quite a few young guys on this team that, have some potential, but there needs to be a linchpin. I mean, there's got to be somebody who ties everything together, not only from a coaching standpoint, but from a play and on-court standpoint. Ron can be a leader. I don't know that he needs to be the absolute leader, though. You can have all different types of leadership, especially if you have one guy whose talent brings it together, and then you can have two or three people whose personalities mesh. Certainly you want to get bigger and stronger, more athletic. This is a team that lacks firepower inside offensively and defensively. Defensively, your firepower comes from the force and the thrust to keep people from driving the ball down your throat, and that's what's happened to Sacramento. I've always maintained, if you can knock off 2 points a quarter, that's 8 points a game, and that's an amazing change in your points per game allowed, and you can do that by eliminating easy baskets.